Oh, I gotta invite Tangi. Can't forget Tangi. Tangi. Okay. I'm running slightly behind. I don't even want to tell you why. And then my kids are chatty. I'm trying to make sure I find everything. Okay, get it going. I don't want to hear that. Okay, so there's my chat. All right. All right, I need to make sure I grab this. Okay, you guys, so with, what did I do there? No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. All right, I'm getting set up. Sorry. I'm just like, is this the one I want? Man, I'm slow today. So I'm slow today because I was up all night long. Up all night. Okay, so I want to make sure I can get this to share. Copy. Let's go into the Mama Gets Fit group. Make sure we post that. Mama Gets Fit with Tangi and Trish. Got to love it. I keep forgetting. I should have put a link in the description to the Mama Gets Fit. I did remember to get some links in. I think I need to create a standard. We are live. Okay. So let's see. Am I where I'm supposed to be? Good morning. Good morning, Bandana Grandma. You have been making your rounds to all the live shows. All right. So tell me something. Can you guys see me better? I know I'm typically grainy. I have a light hooked up. I'm trying to make sure I don't have background light pulling from me. It's crazy. If I was in the other room with all the chaos, I have a much better lighting. Good morning, Huddy Homestead. Good morning, G. Garrett's. Okay, so we have a little time, kind of. Yeah, I got 6 minutes. Woo! Usually I try to get on about 10 minutes ago, and I'm not going to lie, I started getting into some video editing. Like I was making videos until 11 o'clock last night because I'm like totally consumed in this planner craze and kind of chopping, kind of grainy. I know, I'm trying to, no. So I got a new light, so that's supposed to be helping. But I feel like I cannot get enough light. Maybe if I turn around the other way. Let me rearrange a little bit and see if I can get some more light on me. Maybe I should turn on the light. Hold on. Oh. Listen, ladies, I'm in my jammies, but I have to tell you, these were the Black Friday store busters. See, look, I still have that. I'm always going to have that. But these were the Black Friday store busters. Morning, Deborah Cooks. All right, Jen, gotcha. These were the store busters at Walmart Thursday, you know, because Walmart didn't really have a Black Friday sale. They had a Thanksgiving sale. So this was like their pack. It's like by Cuddle Buddies or something. Look at them. Not sponsored, but anyway, but I'm a little bit hoping that they'll come back out with more, or I got to find out where to get them. These, I mean, I'm thinking this is just what they talk about for LuLaRoes or whatever. This stuff, well, spandex and polyester, but oh my goodness, so it's stretchy. I don't know, it feels like a skin. And like the pants are like, look at that. I mean, there's room. There is serious room, but they are so comfy. I'm not ashamed to be in my jammies. Yeah, there's always a little lag with the video. The bulb is right in the picture. Can you push it off the frame? Yes. All right, let me turn back around the way I was going to do it. I know, because I feel like I can see, like I see myself just fine. And then when I go through and I rewatch the video, I'm like, oh, and then I was watching Tangi, and I'm like, Tangi looked grainy when I was watching it. And, okay, seriously, folks. These are all my stickers I've been cutting. I think I have a planner issue. Tangi's here. I am messing with my lighting, Tangi, to see if I can get better lighting.
Okay.
I'm unplugging things. That's scary. I wonder what I'm unplugging them to.
Oh, I need to put my earbud.
Yeah, I'm doing my best. I gave the kids, like, you need to do. See, like, then I get that crazy light. You talk. I'm going to go pull up a second table.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I haven't pulled up the show yet, so I can't see everybody's comments just yet. But how did everybody doing? I'm getting there. No. There we go.
No.
Test. Good morning, Bandana Grandma. Actually woke up in time. Yay! You just swiped. I just swiped her notes. Oh, that's funny. Okay. So everybody can hear me.
Hey, I think you guys can see me. Am I not as grainy?
No, you're not as grainy. You're good.
All right, I figured out. And then as I'm doing it, I'm like, I think I just totally butt showed my butt all over YouTube Live. Hey, I was showing them, check these things out. These are jammies. These were the Walmart, whatever, Black Friday's doorbuster. I tried them on last night for the first time, and I'm like, oh, I could live in these. I'm like now wishing I got every color. I got to find the brand. Because, I mean, they're just like, I can't even begin. Tangi, we could crawl in these jammies together. They're so fantastic. And, like, nice. They stretch. I'm not a touchy person, but I'd cuddle in here with you. They're so fantastic.
Love it. Good morning, Jennifer from House of Littles. So glad that everybody is here this morning. There was one lady, and I'll remember her name in a minute, but I posted, a reminder in our Mama Gets Fit group about this morning and said, who's going to tune in? Well, this lady, she's from Australia, and she was trying to figure out what the time was going to be for her. And I think I was just making it worse because I was just, anyway, but I think we've got it all figured out. So for her, it's going to be 12:30 noon. It's 12:30 noon where she lives right now. So good morning, Amanda. For those who missed it, Amanda announced that she got a little Christmas bun in the oven. So we're really excited to have a Mama Gets Fit baby in the group.
Yes, ma'am. I'm reading all the ones in there. So I've been up all night. And then I got up in the morning. Who needs sleep?
Yeah, I woke up at like 3 something this morning and then went back to sleep. And then luckily I set an alarm.
Okay, I'm just becoming a planner crazy person. And I've been editing because after the show, I won't have the videos ready, but after the show, hopefully this will come across and not be grainy. I'm going to put these stickers in PDF in the Facebook group. And then after the show, I'm going to put the Facebook group link in there. So you'll be able to print them out. That's the only place I'm going to have these. I'm not real sure about how much I can really share of this when it's not my art. So I'm going to just only do it in the group kind of deal.
Yeah, I think as long as you're doing it, you're giving it away and you're not charging for it, I think you're safe.
Well, and I'm not giving, I'm giving it in a very edited format. So it's not like you can go and just get the package that I used and just make your own stuff out of it. So I've got that going on.
Well, thanks for making that for us. I'm really looking forward to printing it and putting it in my planner.
Yeah, it's kind of creating a monster in me. I've been totally up all night. My husband's like, where are you? I'm like, I'll come lay in bed and talk to you. Are you done yet? I need to go work. And so I've been sitting there designing these things, and then I'm like videoing them and just craziness. And I'm like, I might have a problem here, because I went to bed at 11 and then got up at 6 to finish. And then I got so caught up in it. Then I realized, I'm like, oh, it's 8 o'clock. We have a show to do. I have to get ready. So then I was like rushing around.
Well, it's a good thing that you got, I don't know if you guys caught it, but Trish posted a video. Was it this week? You roll out of bed and get ready with me in 10 minutes. Genius. And I'm just like, it makes me want to cut my hair.
But did you like, though, in the very beginning of that video, I did the snippets of like my frumpiness to get here, because I kept getting the bad haircuts. I would go and I'd get it. I mean, I had one where like, I think I even linked in that video, like where I was getting anxiety attacks when I'd have a haircut, because it was just like 6 kids to get out of the house is big stuff. And I mean, at one point I dyed it pink because my mom was going through breast cancer. I probably shouldn't have gone the whole, like, let me grow out the pink. I probably should have done some stuff to grow in. I haven't even colored yet, but yet I can blend it for a little bit longer. I'm a kind of a procrastinator. Like, you know, Julie and John are going to be here tomorrow, right?
Is it tomorrow? Oh my goodness. Awesome.
I have an empty room with no bed in there for them. I might be a procrastinator.
Oh man. Yeah. Procrastinators unite tomorrow. That's me.
I'm like, well, I'm like, I should probably go get it yesterday. And I was like, I finally told my husband, I'm like, we need to go get that bed. And he's like, why do you wait till last minute? I'm like, because I got time. I got like up until the moment they show up.
Right. Exactly. And really, they won't even need it until that night. So you're good for a little while.
Right. You know, I'm like, they could do one night on the couch. I mean, Southern hospitality. I'll roll my couch out for you. I haven't gotten a bed, but I'll cook you, I'll feed you, I'll talk your ear off, lay on the couch.
There you go. Well, and going back to your hairstyle, I'm going to ask these ladies, do you not think that this is Trish's signature? I told her, I said, you have branded yourself with your hair. I love it.
And it took me 38 years to find it. 38 years.
I think it's awesome. I love it.
I feel like I hate to say this. I'm really thinking, and this is going to be a whole nother thing. I had short hair when I was probably 18, and it just made me it just did not look good. Even, just at that age, it didn't look good. And I'm really going to celebrate when I turn 39 next month, or in a month and a half. I'm going to celebrate and count down the last 365 days to turning 40. Because believe it or not, 6 kids, mortgages, life, the whole 9 yards. I feel like I'm finally going to become a grown-up at 40. I still have a hard time thinking of myself as a grown-up. Right. Total mental issue here. Like, not that I think of myself as a 20-year-old by any means, but I'm like, I'm not really, am I an adult yet? I mean, I know how to do adulting. That's not a big deal, but I don't know. So yeah, it's a little bit strange. And it's so funny because it's always like, oh my goodness, your hair is so crazy. And I'm like, listen, you guys, you got to understand. I literally wake up like this. I just spray it. All good. And then learning the eyebrows and just, and for a long time I thought, and I guess this is probably such a normal thing, is I just thought in order to wear makeup, you had to wear everything. And it's just like, what does bandana grandma say? However, I'm rebelling against society's norm and growing mine out at 66. It's easier for me to put it up in a braid, and hubby loves it. Right? Mm-hmm. Oh, mama kept 40 in 27 days. I didn't know if I could do short hair. What I've come to realize, and I've got some videos. I sent Tangi, I started YouTubing 5 years ago. I did 3 videos, and then I didn't do any, and I turned them off. But I never deleted them. And I did them off my computer. I did them in that corner of the house. The lighting was horrible. And I had really long hair. I might have to snip that in there at one time.
Longer than mine. I mean, it was really long.
It was long, but it changed my look significantly. I mean, sure, 6 years changed my look, but it just, I don't know. I had to learn to accept that long hair isn't for me. As beautiful as it is on Tangi and on like Julie and everybody, I'm like, it's just not me.
I look better with long hair, and that's something I hate to admit because I love short hair. I kept short hair for probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. I mean, like short, and about as short as yours, but a little longer on top because, you know, I had to tease it, make it, you know, hire the hair closer to the Lord. And I loved it. It was so easy, but I finally grew it out because it just, I did it to make my husband happy. I was on this kick where, you know, I wanted to be his dream woman, and I'm still on that kick. But looking back, I mean, I really do look better with longer hair, but I'm not going to admit that to him.
You know, talking about being the dream woman, I was called arm candy. I want to be, or my husband's trophy wife. Is my husband has always been like long hair, long hair, long hair. Long hair is beautiful. Long hair is, you know, my girls have to have long hair. My wife needs long hair. Until he realized that like his weekly or almost every other day routine was fishing the hair out of the bathtub. Yeah, out of the drain. He was constantly snaking the drain. And I went ahead and cut mine. And he was just like, what did you do? I don't like this. And what he learned really quickly was he loved how quick I was ready. And then I started doing everything and I was getting ready quickly. And he was just like, oh, I love this. And what I had to then twist in his little mind was his dream woman is the dream woman I choose to be. And he's going to love it, you know?
I love it.
So I'm just like, you're stuck. And I think it comes down to, and I know this is a conversation you and I've had, you know, make sure your husband knows that there's something there to be chased and it's you. Whether it's you now at this weight or you in the future, whatever you are, even if it's not what he thinks he wants, if you let your husband know that there's something here to be chased, trust me, ladies, he will chase you. Not to get into marriage talks, but he will chase you.
Right. And I think this actually goes along really well with one of the things that we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to write something down before I forget that I want to talk about.
Right. I know Tangi and I are learning. If you don't know, Tangi and I are both very fly by the seat of your pants. We are by nature, which fly by the seat of your pants people do really well in high stress situations because we put ourselves there as procrastinators.
Yep.
And for us both to, I like usually, and I'm sure Tangi's on the same boat, work with big planners because they plan and lay out everything so we can just free for all and fit the norm and we're good to go. We are forcing ourselves to be routine. This is big stuff, folks. You've got to understand big stuff. So it's so funny. We were talking the other day. It's like, okay, what's the plan? And it's like, okay, we're going to kind of, so what we decided, and now that we're finishing 1 month of Mama Gets Fit, woo, big stuff. And if I get on soon enough and not at 8:30, is the fact that we're going to start opening up when you get there a little bit before Tangi does. We're going to start doing some shout outs and we're going to do that right now. So if you have a YouTube channel, let's do some shout outs that you're running a YouTube and just kind of say, I have a YouTube channel and this is what I talk about. And so then you guys coming back and watching, you know, to go over there and check them out. So we're going to start doing YouTube shout outs when you're here. So they're going to come on. Then we're always going to have our little chat, you know, and we try to keep it to 5 to 10 minutes. But when you guys get chatty and we get chatty, hello, we're going to chat because we're women.
Yes.
And then we're always going to lead into our victories. And then from our victories, we're going to really cover like, how did we do last week? And then we're going to go into what's coming into this week. So what's coming into this week is talking about our new you while loving your now you. And this is huge, especially as we do all the body morphing with children and motherhood and putting ourselves in the back burner It's so easy to love our back then self and what I hope to be self, but never love our current self. And that's not good. You got to love yourself now. And then we'll just do some requests on what things you want. So let's do some shout outs. You want to catch the first one, Tangi?
Sure. The first one, let's see, is going to be Heather. And she is in our Trim Healthy Mama group. And she does have a baby channel, but she does Trim Healthy Mama and she talks about it. And she is such a lovely spirit. So that's Heather.
Okay, and then we have Bandana Grandma. And you know, if you check the live shows on like the Homestead Network, because they do like a whole series of live shows going on, she's always on there. So Bandana Grandma does homesteading, faith journey, sewing, crocheting, canning, organic gardening, and cooking. Yum. You want to get
the next one is Faith Fries and Frappes. She says she has two, which is that one, and their family vlog channel called Quiet Time Talks, and it's about family homeschooling and autism.
Sweet. And then the Mama Cat, gotta love the Mama Cat. She is a new channel, and she's been doing some really cool stuff. Mama Cat is not quite sure. She hasn't found like what her voice is, but she's mostly covering what's going on in life. So that's frugal life, family, and faith mostly. So yeah, I'm up for suggestions. And aren't you? And you're doing cooking. All right, you want to get Indigo Nilly?
Oh yeah, sure. Miss Indigo Nilly, and I'm trying to subscribe as we to each of these that I haven't. Recipes, diet, mommy of 4 girls.
No, I was one of 3 girls when I was with my dad. We were pretty rude and meaner than most boys could ever have thought.
Yeah, that makes sense. I have 2 sisters and 4 brothers, and I grew up with my 2 oldest brothers. The 4 youngest ones didn't come along until later, so I had to rough and tumble with the boys.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there's been times we would be brawling, but then the worst was we were very joke players. We played a lot of jokes, so we would. They're pretty mean ones. In fact, I could do some mean ones now, but I totally self-control. Yeah, I like Heather and Honey Homestead are like. Indigo is a health veteran and a wealth of knowledge. She covers a lot of stuff. In fact, I get a little bit like fangirl, like Indigo hangs out with us.
Awesome.
And she does a lot of Instapot videos. Indigo, I need to totally get on you. I've broken 2 Instapots already. I love them things, daily use, crash and burn. I blow fuses. I burnt the motherboard up. And it's always the next one. I've yet to buy one, so I can't go and take it back. All right, RMAC J, I have $3, yes, and they are worse than my friend's 3 boys. Yes, the burping, farting, fighting, wrestling, and pranking are so girlish that they don't want to talk about. Mama Cat said, I feel important, Tangi, subscribe. I got to tell you this, just the inappropriateness of farts. But my dad used to have this funniest saying. He would always say, well, I fart, my daughters do stinkies, and my wife makes fluffies. Don't spit your coffee.
It is too dangerous to drink around you, woman.
Oh my goodness, my dad was he was so hilarious all the time. All right, so do we have some victories coming out of Christmas? Any victories? Tangi's got big eyes. This is not.
I'm looking to see if anybody had any victories, because you ain't gonna find one here. Well, actually, I was thinking about it, and here's my victory. Okay, I do not have a loss this week. I have a gain. I gained 1 pound. But in the same hand, the victory is I only gained 1 pound, whereas holidays before, probably 3, 4, 5 pounds. When we went to, I think the worst that I did was Christmas Day. We went to my husband's aunt's house, just food galore. And I only had 1 dessert. It was not the dessert that got me. I had a sugar-free dessert. Okay. Mm-hmm. What got me was the trays of food. Now, I did put it on my plate, But after I clean my plate, I put more on my plate. But what I think one of the reasons why I didn't do so bad is because I would say 90% of what I ate were raw vegetables. But what got me was what I was putting on the raw vegetables: cheese ball, spinach dip, that kind of stuff.
Okay, I have to say, during the week of Christmas, I was kind of off on between doing Weight Watchers. I might do a Weight Watchers breakfast, and then I'd go into a high-fat, no-carb rest of the day. And I felt very comfortable doing that because, that's kind of a trim, healthy mama style. And I did that knowing I was going into Christmas Eve. And Christmas Eve, we did nothing but hors d'oeuvres. And, I think I told you, I'm really was ready for some crackers and cheese. And I did really well. I didn't go in too deep. I still maintained. But then Christmas Day came. And that's when the rum cake started. Because I held out till Christmas Day for rum cake. I only ate rum cake on Christmas Day. And I will tell you, like the day before Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve, I was down to 152 point some number. So let's call it 152.
Wow.
Huge stuff. Well, then I ate and I partaked all day. And I said, you know what? Today was the first time on Christmas Day was the first time while being on a plan, knowing I'm going to stay on the plan, that I had no guilt saying one day will not ruin me. And I did not go over control, but I did not bother to do anything. And then the following day, I did another high fat, no carb day just to bring the sugars levels back. Because I've told you before, that's what does it for me to put me back on plan. Because the entire day, I'm like, I wish I was eating that raspberry. I wish I was eating that strawberry. I wish I was eating, and then the fruit is what always pulls me back into Weight Watchers. Mm-hmm. I finished the day after Christmas out at 158.
Whoa!
My
stomach can hold that much food.
So I have to say, like this morning, then yesterday I was 155, and then this morning I was like 154. So I'm crawling back down from all the stuff I ate. But at the same time, it is Shark Week. And with Shark Week coming in, that's going to kind of be normal. So I'm just like, I'm not taking that number seriously this week, but I am measuring it. All right. I like Amanda. Amanda says she drank a gallon of water a day for the last week and did not overeat.
That's awesome.
You're my hero.
That's awesome. Yep. And Faith Fries and Frappes said that 2 trays of cookies showed up. She did not have a single one. Went multiple places for family meals and only had 1 piece of pie.
That is like awesome. True victories. Those 2 right there are huge victories. The victory does not always have to be the scale.
Right.
Learning self-control and being able to handle it with dignity, that's a victory.
I agree. More so than what the number says, for sure.
Jen said she stopped binging after Christmas and got right back on track and only gained a pound.
Awesome. Amanda Mason.
Mm-hmm.
My victory is I have followed through with my plan to get back on Trim Healthy Mama on the 26th. 2 S days under my belt, cravings being busted. Awesome.
Those S days, and that, why I like to go back and forth with the Weight Watchers and the Trim Healthy Mama, those S days always just take care of cravings. It's just like done.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's that fat. That fat really soothes the craving. Dare to be.
So she started yesterday, and so her pound didn't go back down today from eating Christmas junk food. Listen, we're on the same path. I think you're just a couple days ahead of me.
Yeah.
Get through this week without chocolate, without going crazy in chocolate, and that's victory. Victory. Deal with the scale the following week.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, 6 times blessed. We are sharing our victories, even if you don't have a scale victory. I think most of us gained or maintained. So what's something great that you did? Let's see.
Mama Cat's cracking me up. She had to make sure they weren't poisonous.
I understand. Yeah, I think that's definitely, I would definitely try to make better choices and be more aware of what I was eating. And so I did. Like the very first thing I came to when I went through the line was the crudité tray. And I mean, I grabbed celery and cauliflower and cucumbers and broccoli. I didn't even get carrots. And, but yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, oh no, I still have dip left over. I need more celery. Oh no, I have more celery. I need more dip. So just kept going back and forth and back and forth. But.
Yeah, but you know what? At the end of the month, I can see a huge difference in your face.
Yeah, I can tell in my face and in my clothes. And my husband said, like, when he's standing behind me, he said that he can see like where my waist is starting to go in a little more. So
losing the bloat.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
You know, and the other part too is to think about this on a victory is what were you December 1st and what are you ending December 31st? And you did that through, elastic waist season. You did that through yoga pants season. Mm-hmm. That's huge.
Yeah. And it was also really cool. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I got to meet Daniel Arms and his family. And I felt better about myself because if 10 pounds ago I had met them, I would have, been like, oh man, yes, I want to meet them, but I wish I looked better, but I didn't even think about how I looked. I was able to enjoy the company and getting to meet them. But yeah, I did think about that this morning though. I was like, even though I put on that pound that it put me back in the 190s, I'm still at 190. I'm not at 199. I am no longer flirting with the 200s.
Right. And so I like this. Mama Cat says that's why she's not baking this year. She couldn't handle the smell of baking cookies without having one, or 1 leads to 10. Family Root Farm says I really need to do better about eating during the day. I go so long and then get so hungry that I binge like crazy. Yes, I have a video. I will pop it in here later. And it has to do with the fact that you have to eat. You cannot starve yourself to lose weight. If you starve yourself, either your metabolism will drop and stop, or you're going to binge when you get there, and you're going to be so hungry that you won't give your stomach time to go to your brain to say, hey, we're full. And then you're like laying on the floor going, oh, I'm going to die. That's usually me. So Bandana says, I won't mention fairs because this is victory time. So I'll just say I haven't given up. I am here to be inspired, and I threw out a lot of bad stuff. There you go. Bandana, you got, steps, baby steps. And just journaling what you're eating is the first largest step, because then it really gives you an idea of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. What you're currently doing, so you know what to change, versus saying, this is what I'm going to do. And you're like, well, and you get into a couple weeks and you're like, I'm failing at this. I'm so bad. No, not really. You just didn't take into account for who you are before you started. Mm-hmm. My favorite city is Nashville. Cool, Mary. Oh, because that's where you went.
That's right.
I drove through there like bumper to bumper traffic one year when we went to Canada. I found that if I get dressed, I feel better. I have a bad habit of sitting in PJs all day long and wearing my hair in a bun. Hey, Mama Cat, I have a hard time if I don't put like a bra on and get out of my jammies. I just don't do anything all day. I have to be out, except for these. I think I'm going to live in these forever. Yeah. They're close to me now. I'm just like.
They're cute. I've seen people go to Walmart and worse.
Family. Yes, I have too. Have you guys? I found that, Family Root says she signed up for Beachbody group for the month of January. Hopefully that will help. It's so funny because I've been Instagramming all this stuff. I can't tell you every other day, would you like to join my coaching? And this is what I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. My kids are loving, but Family Roots, if that's what works for you, do it. Do it. Cause I don't have time to be like, did you do your stuff? That's not really me.
Yeah, I think I would do well with Beachbody. It's just the investment, but just having that support and the encouragement. Well, like you being my coach, you're just like, okay, that sugar, you got to get rid of that sugar. Yeah, I know. I need that. I think it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could be your accountability partner, but I don't know if I could be a coach. Even though I was like, I'll coach you. We got this. I like 6 Times Blessing. Her kids are loving the fact that she's getting rid of all the food and giving it to them. Faith fries and stripes. I didn't track Weight Watcher points over the weekend. I didn't have a clue how to track all the homemade foods and such, but I was just watching my portions and tried to make good choices. That's the first step. And the big thing is, like, if you are cooking something, take all your ingredients that you're using, calculate the points, add them together, and if it's a pot of soup and it looks like 30 cups, just divide the points by 30 cups, and you know each cup is this. If it's bread, put all of that together, weigh your bread, and then weigh the slice, and you know that's the portion of points you get. It takes me 20 minutes for my brain to send messages, you are full. Mm-hmm. Right. That's why I kind of like to do a small snack before a meal and then eat, or why they say drink a cup of water.
Yeah, and I think that's why I don't know why it is. I'm going to see, let me know if you're the same way, but there are times where I shovel food in my mouth as fast as I can, and it's like I'm going to starve to death if I don't, and I don't know why I do that, but especially with like the veggie tray and stuff like that. Popcorn, I notice I do the same thing with popcorn. I inhale it as fast as I can, and then, you know, after the 20 minutes pass, I'm miserable.
Okay, you want to hear a trick? Because I was raised with inhalers, food inhalers, and a lot of times, now think about this, you're taking another bite before the food is out of your mouth, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. So one of the tricks I did was I had to mentally start thinking about my unconscious eating, and that to stop putting food in my mouth until what is in my mouth is gone. And that was huge, because all of a sudden it gave like that consciousness to my mouth. Like I'm chewing, and I mean, if you know, you're chewing and you're still got food in your mouth and you're shoveling the next bite and you're not even waiting till you swallow what's in your mouth to put something else in it. Mm-hmm. And just that small conscious effort that says, I'm not going to put another bite in my mouth until this one's gone, will slow you down. From experience. And then you're crazy because you're like, why in the world am I eating like this? And this has nothing to do with hunger. This is all kind of unconscious, psychological. Maybe our parents did not tell us to slow down, you know, and kind of train that hand to mouth thing going on. Or maybe we had too many siblings and you had to eat in a hurry. All right, so yes, so short circuit. Faith fries and strikes says I can track my homemade, but didn't know how to follow other people's. Yeah, I kind of guess at it. Sometimes I take a picture on Instagram and I ask the Weight Watchers World Smart Points. I'm like, help me calculate. I haven't weighed myself this morning. I'm scared to. I had to gain a pound after Christmas Day. Then wait a week. It's fine. You're fine to wait a week. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Miss Trina. I'm off to a late start this morning. I was up late with a sick 4-year-old. That's sad. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. I'm going to nurse before. Yeah, because you always want to get all liquids out before you get on the scale, above and below. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so funny. All right. Indigo says she felt like she had to eat fast with 4 brothers. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's get into next week before we run out of time. All right. I have to tell you, I am so excited. Well, a couple things to get into is about loving yourself now. So I kind of had a situation came up the other day, and Amanda at the Fundamental Home wanted some pictures of me, my before and after photos, because if you don't know, I'm doing the Family Frugal Food for the second time this January 6th, the first Friday of January, because they're doing, Tangi's a creator, is part of the, she is, what is that word?
We are co-founders?
Founders. Thank you. Thank you. Founders. Forgive me. I might have been up last night, late and up early. Her and Amanda at the Fundamental Home founded the Frugal Family Food. And actually that is how I met the both of them, because Julie, who's coming to stay with me, said, hey, Trish, I told these 2 ladies about you to use you in this big collab. What I thought it was like a 12-week collab and then it was over. And what has been awesome was it started in February last year, and it's done 47 frugal family food recipes from all over YouTube, everybody on YouTube. And so they have that going on. So then I'm coming in and I'm doing another segment for January to kick off health. And so Amanda, to kick off that I will be the one doing it, wanted photos. So I have that one where I'm just sitting on the chair, sticking my tongue out. And that was 4th of July, 2015. And I remember when that photo was taken, I was feeling horrible. I went from having a baby to the initial weight loss from having a baby to ballooning immediately out within 6 months. And I remember when the photo was taken, I said, you know what? I'm not going to try and sit up straight. I'm not going to try to hide what is obviously here. I'm just going to stick out my tongue like I just don't care. I don't care. And I'm going to have fun with it, and I'm not going to get caught up in it. Well, I have that one photo. And she's like, well, I want a full-length photo of before. And I'm like, listen, I wouldn't take full, I'm sure some of y'all are with me. I don't take full-length photos of that size. And I was going through, and it took me a long time to find a photo that I could use that was close to that timeline. I didn't have any. And I was talking to her about it. And, you know, now I got a lot more photos as I started progressing. It kind of seemed like as the pounds went off, the more photos I would be in. And I have to tell you, I'm really sad about this. And I know we've talked about a little bit about the photo issue, about taking photos. And the problem is when I had the weight on, I saw the fat. I saw the weight. I saw the just aggravation of not being able to get a handle of it. I saw defeat. Every time in the moment I took a photo at that weight, I felt defeated. And now that I'm here, the few photos I have that I look back, I don't see that. I don't see the weight. I don't see the fat. I see me. I see me having fun. Even that picture of me just sticking out my tongue. And I know at that moment I was really disgusted with just where I was. But I really now see, like, you know what? I didn't even care. I just wanted to have fun. I was with my family. And how adorable is that photo? You know, how adorable is it me standing holding my baby? I'm so glad I have those few photos. And it really makes a huge thing. And I see the fun I was having. And now I just regret not having photos. You know, the other part too is like I can look at those photos and go, yeah, I was there. But I'm here now. But I was there. And the fact, you know, it's just getting past the fact that I can see everything about me besides the fat. And I just really brought home the fact you have to love who you are now. And don't decide to start waiting until who you're going to be is the biggest thing. And I did that a lot. I did that the first time I lost weight. First time I lost weight was 15 years ago. And I wouldn't wear makeup. I didn't feel worthy to wear makeup because I didn't like my weight. I didn't feel worthy to have nice hair because I didn't like my weight. I didn't feel worthy enough to wear beautiful clothes because I didn't like my weight. But my weight is this tiny thing about me, and it's not even me, it's just my vessel. And I let that tiny descriptive thing about my vessel decide my worth. And it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And when I did lose weight, then I started doing a little bit of makeup, but then I don't know how to do makeup. And I'm finally turning 40 almost, and I'm like, oh, makeup, let's play with makeup. I think it has more to do with YouTubing almost every day and being ready for the camera than anything. And I will tell you now, I love my fat photos. I hate to call them fat photos, but I love my fat photos. I love the fact that I still chose to live, even though I didn't like this tiny description of my vessel. I love the fact that I can see what I have done. I can see my progress that I have made with this vessel. And I feel rewarded when I see them. I feel rewarded because I'm in the photo. I have photos of me. It's not like I just magically puffed into existence in the scrapbooks when mom was skinny. No, I was always there. my kids and I have had many debates as I started losing weight. Some of my children are kind of upset that I've lost
You've
weight.
changed. You look different.
I don't feel as smushy and comfortable and fluffy and cozy.
You're not the big comfy couch anymore.
I'm not the comfy, cozy mom as much. And I'm talking when I was at the 200 weight, and I'm not as tall as you, and there's lots of me. They enjoyed burrowing in me. And they're like, we really missed cozy mom. And I'm like, I'm not your couch. I love you too, but I'm not your couch.
Yeah, I think Southwind Technical Academy, she kind of said what I was thinking about, when you feel bad enough about yourself, you don't want to be in pictures. She said, I was so ashamed of the way I looked for the majority of my life that I avoided photos like the plague. Now my kids have no pictures of me at their age, in school, in college, and no wedding photos. And that was actually what I was thinking of, is all the times that I avoided the camera, or I tried to get behind somebody. And, when I'm gone and my kids are wanting to have those memories of me, or those photos, or to be able to show their grandchildren or their children, they won't be there. And that's a very sobering thought, that we have to relinquish that of ourselves and be in the moment, if not for ourselves, but then for our families.
Right. And we get into this concept of who we see we are, and then we see the image of ourselves as being bad. And the problem is that's, again, the vessel. And what we're relating to is the defeat, is the just uncertainty, the unhappiness, then the physical feeling of weight. Because granted or not, you can't chop up being overweight as this emotional feeling. There are genuine physical ailments that come with it, from your knees hurting, from your clothes not fitting right. I can't even begin to tell you, the most aggravating part is the feeling of fat is not firm. And because fat is not firm, it does not matter what article of clothing they make. When you put it on, the fat moves and the clothes move. And they never stay where they're supposed to be. It is just so aggravating, because it feels, many days I would just be so angry because it felt like my clothes won't stay on. They won't stay put. They're crawling around. There's a lot of things that are physically happening outside of just like, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way, you physically feel things. And when we see our vessel, we can just be like, yeah, I see all of that. That's all the thinking I have when I see my vessel. I don't want to see it because I don't want to think about it. And our family members don't see any of that. When they see our vessel, when they see our image, they say, there's my mom. There's my wife. There's the woman who loves me. There's the woman who, but seriously, I will cry with you because I'm a sympathy crier. But seriously, they see, there's the woman who tenderly cares for me when I'm sick. You got me crying. Stop. But it's not the fat. It's not the health we're dragging around. Our photos are absolutely important. Be in front of that camera. And I'm not talking your arm. Your children will have days they just want your photo. Your children, when they want to show you to your children or your grandchildren, they want your photo. They don't want your arm. They don't want you hiding. They want to see you. They want to see you in the activities, because they don't see what we see. They see everything that we are called to do as moms, as wives, as friends, as daughters, as children. We're called for that. And stop hiding behind the camera. Get in front of it. Take a 400 million selfies so you figure out what's your best smile. Because dang sure it took me YouTube for a year to figure out how to be like, and I still have to look at myself when I do a photo. I'm like, if I take a photo, I'm like, what a dork. And I'm like, but I'm in front of the camera enough that I know to go, open my mouth wide. That's my smile, my big mouth.
Yeah.
All right, so now I've made some of y'all cry. I'm so sorry.
It's good for the soul.
It saddens me because walking through that and then realizing I don't have photos. I have memories and yet it doesn't show me there.
Right. Yeah. And one thing that I was thinking of, and I actually went through this, I don't know, probably about 8 years ago, maybe. And it was the first time that I had lost weight. I had lost a substantial amount, and I'd gotten down to 185, which was the lowest I had been since I started gaining weight after I got married. And because there was less of me to worry about, there was more of me to embrace. And so even though I've put some of that weight back on, the things that I remembered that I actually like about myself, and it's not your society's or the culture idea of beauty, but they're things that I like about myself because they make me me. So like how my just below my right where my hips are, they kind of bulge out a little bit. I like that about myself. I like my stretch marks, which I didn't at first. It kind of freaked me out because I was like, oh no, because those don't go away. But I have stretch marks because I had 2 babies. And I like that about myself. I like my nose. It took me a long time to like my nose because people would always say, you have a big nose, but it's my nose. And it also ties me to part of my family because I've got my family's nose. I like how my teeth are crooked. I like that my top teeth overlap, and I like that my bottom teeth are kind of messed up because it's me. That's it. It makes me different from other people. And I think if, you know, and it sounds so new world, and I was raised by old school parents. I'm one of those suck it up buttercup kind of people, but I think it's okay to look at how God made you different than everybody else, and where some people would consider it a flaw. I think it's for us to embrace and say, but that's what makes me me. And so I challenge you guys to point out things or just try to look at yourself and say, what is it about me that makes me unique? What makes me stand out? And not just your personality, because obviously our personalities are different, but your physical appearance. What is something about yourself that you love? Because it when people see that, that's you.
I'm not even gonna get that cat. You okay? All right, yeah, I gotta tell you, I have like triple layer stretch marks because where I've stretched this way and then I stretched this way, and I think I stopped stretching after the 3rd kid. And I'm laughing because one of my things I'm really excited about is when I lose enough, I can't wait to show you guys, I'm going to have this crazy amount of skin. And by one of my locals has already been like, oh, are you going to get a tummy tuck? We can go get a tummy tuck. And I'm like, why? I am not going to lie. Maybe it's because I'm down here in the South and we bear a little bit more skin than usual. I'm going to wear a bikini and I'm going to let my kangaroo pouch skin hang. And I'm going to say, this is beautiful because this got me 6 kids. 6 kids I love and adore. I would rather have this pouch and showing through the triumph of children and chaos, I have taken care of my vessel this way than to be perfect without those kids. Mm-hmm. End of story. I was so excited after my 5th one. Oh my goodness, that boy popped my hips out. And it was the first time in my life I had a ghetto booty. Now, granted, I was bigger, but I mean, I had what you explained. Like, I had hips that came out. And I was just, of course, I was a little bit like, honey, check out my honey, you know. And he was like, oh my goodness, what is that? I'm like, it's sexy, you know. And I was so excited to have this booty. Sadly, and I thought after 5 kids, it's not going back. It's here. It went back. My pelvic closed back in. I was like, dang it, I had a booty for once, you know. And the thing about it was that booty had nothing to do with my weight. That booty had nothing to do with my muscles. That booty had nothing to do with my diet. That booty was strictly because my bones popped out. My pelvic opened up. So if you got a booty you think you're fighting your bones. Seriously, you're fighting your bones. You're not fighting any crazy stuff. And, you know, so yes, there are so many cool things, you know, little things that I used to not be able to like. I have a butt chin.
I do too. Mine's very subtle though.
Mine's pretty deep. And I married a man with a butt chin. And it's funny because I can hardly ever get my husband on pictures with me. When we first met, I felt like we looked drastically different. And yet we're both Swedish German descent. And so it's funny, as we're aging, I'm seeing like we both have very pronounced cheekbones. We both have butt chins, our eye colors almost, you know. So like one thing, I never really took any time to really enjoy the color of my eyes. I have very amazing blue eyes. Until I get 6 children with those same color eyes. And I'm like, wow. Now I see what an asset that is. My weird chin, I didn't think my chin until I see these little babies with that same butt chin. And I'm just like, oh, I love mine too, because they have it. You know, and then like I got a button nose. Like I got the little button here. Nose. And then I'm watching my children with button noses. You know, and I understand like the part of don't beat yourself up or destroy you, or because your kids are going to feel it. And there was a conversation that said, you know, I don't know what to think. My mom has always been overweight. There's no photos of her. And now I'm being told I look like her. And it's messing with me. Same problem. My mom is just now embracing that she's beautiful. Because there's always little jabs like, well, if you lose weight, or if you do this, or if you do that. And there was never like this loving lush of, oh my goodness, you are so beautiful. You are so this. There was never that. I heard the criticism as a kid. I heard it from her husband. I heard it from her parents. I heard it from her own mouth. And I grew up to look just like my mother. What is the first thing I'm going to think?
Right.
I'm not beautiful.
Right.
And it's really come in the last 5 years of just embracing who I am, having a husband who just thinks I'm the hottest thing at walking the earth, no matter if it's 40 pounds overweight or not. And it's really just made me change it. Instead of my mom coming back and being like, you are beautiful, I go to my mom, I go, Mom, I am beautiful. I'm going to tell you I'm beautiful, and I look just like you. So by default, you are beautiful too, you know, and just reminding her, it doesn't matter what weight we are. It doesn't matter. It's like, look at me. I look just like you. I'm beautiful. You're beautiful. We're good.
Right. Yeah, that's something else. My niece has vitiligo. She's got big white patches, you know, on her arms, her legs, and on her face. And my sister, her mom found a book about a girl that has vitiligo. And when my niece read the book, she said, Mommy, I love my white spots. And I think it's important. We can't tear ourselves down in front of our kids, because just like you said, that's going to start messing with them as well, because they see themselves in us because they came from us. So if we're talking bad about ourselves, essentially we're talking bad about them. So we really have to be careful about what we say and how we treat ourselves.
Yeah, you know, and I just laugh. I've got like a droopy eyebrow. Nobody notices yet. It's going to get worse. It's hereditary. I'm like, well, whatever. It's hereditary. You know, my husband was funny. My 6-year-old is a walking mess. I mean, 2 years old, she was on the refrigerator. She's one of those children. She has torn her face up so many different times. She's just one of those. I spent the first 4 years keeping her from killing herself. She has no awareness or self-preservation. She has no self-preservation. And my husband's like, oh my goodness, how is my poor child going to find a husband with all these scars on her face and all over her body? You know, why? How is she going to do that? And I looked at him and I said, because she's going to find a husband who is as adventurous as she is, and who's going to look at every one of those old 20-year-old scars and say, oh my goodness, they're so adorable.
Right.
And that's who she's going to find. You know, go ahead.
Sorry. Now I was reading the comment, Mary Waynick. She said, I was born with a cleft lip. I love my lip because I'm different. and it's okay. And hair look jokes do not bother me at all. I'm thankful I was able to have surgery. Amen.
And I bet you could probably tell the best of the funniest jokes, because the best thing I have found, like when I was overweight and I'd be waiting and I'm a bit impatient. I'm a procrastinator and I'm highly impatient. So I would make jokes because of being overweight and having a history of being overweight in high school. If I'm waiting on somebody, I said, man, I feel like a fat girl on a Friday night waiting for my prom date. Seriously, when are you getting here? And
You're such a mess.
But the thing about it was I think, you sometimes get the fat girl, funny girl syndrome, the fat, funny girl syndrome.
Yes.
And
yes.
I owned it. I highly own the fat girl, funny girl syndrome. But what makes it funnier is when you kind of crack those jokes on something that somebody would consider I was up all night. I can't find my words. I want to say a disembellishment, but like something that would be considered a flaw. And if you kind of point it out as the elephant in the room and crack a joke and say, I'm cracking a joke because I love it.
Yeah.
It has that kind of, it's funnier. I don't know. I'm just saying it's funnier. Like when I make fun of my gray hair, it's funnier because it looks like I'm going bald because you can see through my hair. Thank you to the gray.
Right. Yeah, there's been times where I have said something to somebody and I'm like, is it because I'm fat? And they're like, what? No, I didn't say that. And I'm like, no, I know. I said it. It's okay. I know I'm fluffy and I'm working on it. It's all right.
Right. Well, it's almost sometimes, I know this is horrible. It's not the best way to be super, friendly in a conversation. Hello, Claire. Claire, you need to come back and watch this later to catch everything we've done. We've cried today.
It's been one of those days.
This is what happens in about 20 years, Claire. You're going to cry. And so it's fun to kind of make people, just kind of be chatty, and then say something completely off the wall. I'd be like, don't get me started. I'm going to totally tinkle myself. I got 6 kids. And they're like, what? You said what? And it's just like, I'm just messing. I'm like, well, no, that does happen, but I'm just messing with you. I'm not going to tinkle. Yeah, I already did that. Embrace the humor of getting old and your body doing weird things. Thank you for children, and thank you, Lord, for children.
Yes. And that's, I think, see, here's the thing. Here's my approach about life. Real life is funny. And people who have met me in person, they're like, you're just like I see on YouTube. And I'm like, why be fake? Real life is funny. Pointing out the obvious is funny. And I think it's because for a long time, people, everybody had to have their social face on, have to be prim and proper. And you don't do this and you say that. And there's just, but then like when somebody, like you said, after having a lot of kids, sometimes the muscles don't work right. And you might tinkle if you sneeze. And it's funny because it's true and people can relate. And I think that's what joins it. That's what bonds us together. Our life experiences, how we change as we become moms and as we get older. And obviously you're not going to say some things in mixed company, but other than that, don't pretend to be something you're not. Just be real. And then people will gravitate toward that.
All right. I have to laugh. I'm not going to completely read it off. But they're talking about the inside jokes of dealing with the deflated breast. And I have to laugh because, there's this sense that you want perky boobs the rest of your life. And, and it's just like this, I'm going to put my boobs back. Let me tell you, I have nursed 6 kids. By the 3rd one, they were pretty flat and they hung low. The 3rd one, I appreciated it so much because I didn't have to strain myself to keep a baby up. I didn't have to bend over to feed a baby. They hung low enough to feed a baby. Those saggy, floppy boobs are a gift from God when nursing a baby. I'm not going to lie. Afterwards, you might have to roll them up with a little duct tape to keep them in. But seriously, if you're going to have some children, the first thing you want are some saggy, floppy boobs. The first thing.
Oh, me. You're so funny.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, I found this out about 6 years ago. I was like, I love saggy, floppy boobs. I will roll them up later. I mean, they're like a sock. You roll them up, put a little duct tape on them, stick it in your bra. Because after you get them saggy, floppy boobs, you can need full coverage. Because anything that has like a little opening, they're going to pour out. Yeah. There's nothing. It's like fat skin. I mean, it's just duct tape here. I'm multi-layering because there is no structure left. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter because at night your husband don't care. And in daytime, you just put a couple layers, and as long as you're somewhat looking the form, you look great.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I absolutely have totally 100% embraced how my body changed after I had kids. I feel like I look better. I have more curves and I'm rounder in areas. I think I look better after kids than I did before.
I'm going on the fact that a few of them have peed themselves today. Who would have known you would have gone from crying to peeing yourselves? I agree, though. I mean, like I said, I feel like I'm becoming an adult. I'm turning 40. I'm becoming an adult. I am beautiful. This like childlike body is gone, and it's been replaced with something that has been used and worn and loved. My body, talking about my body here, and it's just something I appreciate. I see the value. It's stronger than it ever would have been. I mean, every time you give birth, it's the equivalent of breaking 50 bones at one time, and we can only handle 30 or 20 or 50, I don't know, something ridiculous. I'm seriously like, this thing is strong. Now, there's things that hurt from time to time. Like I broke my foot a couple years ago, and so my foot aches, and my vision's going. I can't hear crap, which one day that might be beneficial. And I'm not as quick with it with less sleep. I need more sleep. But, all good things have to be taken care of well. Right. And I'm just a good thing that I got to take care of well.
Mm-hmm. Right. Indigo said she always double bags. Love it.
The double bags. So before we run out of time, because we will so run out of time on this girl chat today, this mama chat. That's my thing. Like, okay, I'm too old to be called a girl. Mm-hmm. I feel too young to be called a woman. Mm-hmm. You always got to act ladylike no matter what your age is. I'm like, just a mama. I'm in mama zone. There's no quite age barrier there. It's really a state of mind. It's just like mama mode.
I agree. It's the season of life we're in, for sure.
Some of us who keep having children will always be here. Always. Mm-hmm. All right. I do want to talk about the vision board.
Yes.
What is your dog doing?
It's not my dog. It's my child.
Tell him I'm going to get him.
Oh, it's Emily.
It's Emily today.
She's fixing her breakfast.
Okay. So this is my vision board from last year. I think I've hit on it a little bit. Tell her breakfast time happened an hour ago.
You're making a lot of noise. Can you?
Miss Trish is going to come up there and get her.
Go ahead.
So this is the vision board that I made last year. And, I have to say I was ahead of the curve because all of a sudden I'm hearing this new thing, like, what's your word of the year? And I'm like, what's this word of the year stuff? And I'm like, I had one last year before it was cool. I was cool before it was cool. Ha, 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 ha. This one, so my word last year was vibrant. And if you watch my transformation, the beginning of last year to this year, I've really encapsulated vibrant. And this was more visual reminders that I made for myself to keep me going. And see, like I even talk about, I have the split abs. And I just kind of made pictures. And I'm really thrilled because the one thing I didn't get to was doing the couch to 5K. And I'm actually I signed up for a 5K. I've signed up for a lot of different stuff. I can hear everything she's doing.
I'm sure you guys can
do. It's okay. It's so distracting.
I'm sorry. It's just now 8:30 here, so she's
She's in full mode.
Yeah, she's getting her breakfast.
It's okay. It's okay. We're going to be done here soon anyways.
Okay.
Bless her heart. No, it's okay. It's cracking me up. So make a vision board. You don't have to lay out any concrete plans. Just start trying to find pictures and posting it. And just start posting it. And besides, we're all moms. We totally get what's going on in the background. Getting things done. So just getting a picture and just kind of focusing on these are my goals. And what I'm running into is this is my goal that I set out for this year, and I've worked well. And I'm actually going to duplicate this one for 2017, but I'm going to do it so it fits in here. I'm going to make something that fits in here, and I'm going to duplicate because although I began pursuing this, now I want to maintain these same things. So I'm pretty thrilled that I'm not like, hey, I need to rip this apart and start over. So we're going to really start talking about doing a vision board, making your plans, your goals, not making resolutions. I'm really against resolutions, but making a visual reminder of where you want to go. Because there's been times, even though I sat and made this, that I went and I was like, I forgot, and when I was like, oh, I forgot I wanted to work on this. I spent a long time ignoring that. So talking about that. Now, remember, I started a homeschool vision board and then my house flooded.
Yeah.
But I have one started. I love the vision boards. I love the vision boards. And it was a complete new thing to me last year. We should all post our current full body photo on Facebook. Let's do that. Tangi's great at making little icons, so she'll make an icon, I'm assuming.
Sure. Yeah. I'll figure out a way to do it where we can keep it all organized. Maybe I'll create an album, and if you guys can post it all in the album, that'd probably be the best way to go.
Well, so I did the vision board last year, and it was like, okay, this is a little, touchy-feely for me. But I did it because it was, part of a collab, and I did it. And I will tell you, it has been a game changer for me. Just having that visual reminder, not a list I have to read, but just seeing the pictures. So I encourage you, if you get one made, to take a picture and post it on the Facebook group. Remember, I put the Facebook group. I will have the Facebook group back in the description. I thought I did that, but I didn't do that. And if you are doing Wellness Wednesday videos, let me know so I can stick you in to the playlist. The playlist is just for this month, and then I will start a new playlist next month. So make sure that I know that so I can have you in the playlist. I need to do that. I've heard of vision board for a few years, but was like, why? Now I get it. Sometimes I'm slow. We got enough going on as moms. We are allowed to be slow in other areas. Totally mean it.
I agree.
Right.
I'm getting ready to post a link to the Facebook group for those who are not with us yet. Mama Cat says that she's going to have to start her own.
To get Facebook.
Get it, yeah, gonna have to get her Facebook. Which I'll tell you that there are people that will get on there and will keep their Facebook profiles private, and they are only on there to be in groups and things. So if you're wanting to, if you're just wanting to be on there just to be in the group, then you can certainly set your settings to where no one will know that you're there except you.
Yes, you can do that. Faith Fries and Strikes. You know what? I think you're awesome. Keep having babies. I'm tired. Turning 39. I'm like, I told my husband, if we ever get to the point where one turns 2 and we're not pregnant, we're not going to be pregnant. That is my cutoff. I'm done. And I'm fixing to have kids out of diapers for the first time ever in 12 years. So I'm fixing to celebrate. There ain't no more babies here.
So Mama Cat wants to know, what all do we do to have the Wellness Wednesday videos? Like, what is the content?
Okay, the content is literally a weekly vlog of you finding healthy. It is being willing to share what your goals are, what your experience is, what your anticipations, being real, or providing helpful advice. So every Wednesday, it's just your wellness journey. And it would be good if you would go ahead and link back that you're watching us and what you can go in and what you've learned and what you're going to apply from today's show. You can, sorry, I'm having lack of sleep, brain farts. You know, it's just being willing to walk that path. It does not have to always be weight loss. And that's why it's not called a weight loss Wednesday. It's called wellness. It's your journey to there. It could be like, I'm struggling with sugar. I have almost an entire year's worth of Wellness Wednesdays that you can go back and watch through, and you can see that. You can see the transformation. It's pretty darn amazing. I need to do like a Wellness Wednesday summary for 2016. But
yes, Mama Cat. She said, so like just not weight loss, but other things in my health. Yes. Because I mean, really the goal for all of us should be being healthy. Weight loss is just a side effect of getting healthy.
It's a symptom.
Yeah. Right.
It could be a good symptom. Yeah, and you can make your Facebook group, your Facebook profile completely anonymous, and even your best friends won't even know that you have it. Sorry, my nose is slightly running. Forgive me.
That's okay. And also feel free in your videos, if you want to link to our Facebook Mama Gets Fit, and invite some of your viewers to come and join us, but just specify that it's for women only.
It is for women only. So men who come back and watch this show, sorry. Yep. You're going to have to do a Daddy Gets Fit.
There you go. We
will promote the heck out of you, but we're not going to participate with you. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's just it. And so, you know, there was the time in October on my Wellness Wednesday, I actually did a video about keeping perspective. And I was sitting in my front yard in my couch with all of my belongings thrown in the front yard. And you could definitely see I was a bit shell shocked in the moment of it. And it just had to do with the fact that life is going to throw you wrenches. And let me tell you, how easy is it for us who emotionally eat to sit and eat a dozen donuts? I think I did eat a dozen donuts that week. Mm-hmm. But, you know, keeping perspective when the time comes, it's your spiritual health, mental, physical journey to wellness. Oh, the kids, poor Faith. Yes, I have ice cream and TV going on in the room behind me or in front of me. That's where my kids are right now, keeping them contained with donuts and sprinkles and all that junk. We're getting the carpet cleaner out when I'm done. It's okay. I'm going to shop back the whole room. Every Wednesday, I clean my Wednesday routine. Do a Mama Gets Fit and shop back the whole room from the chaos that occurred being here. Anyway, I'm going to close this in prayer. We better get going. We actually stayed on our intended schedule, Tangi. It took 4 sessions.
That's awesome. We did great.
I thought about getting. Go ahead.
I'm just thinking about it. So I will do the album for profiles, and I will also do an album for vision boards. So if anybody wants to share their vision board, you can post a picture of it and we'll stick it in that album.
And again, remember, if you want topics for us to cover, I got caught up with the tornado that April needs. She doesn't use a shop vac, she uses a tornado. So if you ever have requests for struggles you're dealing with on topics to cover on a Mama Gets Fit, leave them in the comments after the show. Bring them to the Facebook group. It helps us know. It just guides us on what to talk about, so we're being applicable in your life, not just ours. Mm-hmm. I like to say it like you're right here, because in my screen, Tangi's right here. I wish you could have seen that. That was awesome. I'm sorry. All right, so I'm not seeing any prayer requests. Sorry, I should have remember prayer requests in the morning. Just all of us, remember, keep yourself having grace. Give yourself grace. This is not an overnight journey. You didn't get here overnight. A lot of us took 30 years or more, except Claire. Claire hasn't had 30 years to get here yet.
No, not yet. I do have one prayer request. It's Amanda Mason that is in our Mama Gets Fit Facebook group. She announced that she is expecting a little one and said that she does struggle with morning sickness to the point where she can't eat. So let's pray for her that she has a healthy pregnancy and hopefully a smooth, that she'll feel good. She'll have the energy to keep up with all the things that she has going on.
And remember, Amanda, you're growing a tiny little human being. That is like marathon running every day without your body physically moving. So give yourself grace. I will tell you the Trim Healthy Mama Good Girl Moonshine with plenty of ginger is a great one to be sipping on because the ginger will calm your stomach a lot. And then just remember, this too shall pass.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're talking about social media. All right. I haven't used it too much. Okay. All right, so I'm going to close this off. When we see you next year, we will be seeing you. All right, and they're discussing how to keep it anonymous, and we'll keep Amanda in our prayers. We're also going to keep Faith Fries and Strikes because her plan is to be getting healthy to have more babies. And let me tell you, here at Mama Gets Fit, we are here to support and love you through every baby you have. We are probably the biggest baby promoters there's around. I'm not buying the garbage about world population and blah, 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 society responsibility. I think this stuff's garbage. I could get into you on the technical ends of why big families are healthy for the world, but I'm not doing that today. So
Yes.
we are always here for you having babies.
Yes. That's right.
But
And I will say too that God did tell us to go forth and multiply.
Be fruitful.
So if you can, do it. And for those of you who are struggling and want to have children, we pray for you as well.
Definitely. These two mamas are done on the baby making end, but we're all about you guys having babies.
That's right.
All right.
Yep. I only
Hey,
have two because of
made
medical
it.
issues. Yay! Yeah, I have 2 babies because of medical issues. I would have liked to have had more, but it was not in the cards for us. So.
Dirt Patch, when we get off here, you need to go back and watch the beginning because we talk about you. Oh, that is one thing I do want to say. I am so excited when Dirt Patch gets here. So for all my moms who go low carb, who are doing Trim Healthy Mama, what you may not know, Dirt Patch, Julie at Dirt Patch, cooks with everything non-wheat. No wheat at all. She is a paleo diet, not because it's the current fad, but because she's actually physically allergic to rice and grain and probably a few other things out there. So she cooks with very non-traditional flours, and yet she's a baker, which is huge, huge stuff. She has some videos on her channel. You should go check her out. That she does all this baking. She was even baking paleo bread, non-carb bread in a camper, in like an 18-foot tiny little gas oven camper. It was crazy awesome. And they eat bread all the time. They're just not eating wheat. So I'm going to tell you, I'm hoping when she gets here that we can just get zillions of videos out on how to make every kind of bread in a non-wheat form. So I've seen her bake bread. Right, Mama Cat? Oh, she's blushing. She's such a redhead. So when she blushes, I'm sure her whole face is red.
Yeah. And if you guys just hover your cursor over her name, you can subscribe to her channel. She's got, everything. She talks about cooking. She talks about health. She talks about gardening. She talks about traveling, homeschooling. She's got one of the most diverse and interesting and fun videos on YouTube.
So yeah, and the really cool part too, and what she has done in the past when they were on the homestead in Idaho, is frugal. She was building a huge food pantry, a food storage with her ability to stay grain free, which is pretty darn amazing in keeping things so down. She goes, yep, I'm spastic all over the place, aren't I? No, you're not. You're covering what your life is. YouTube is about presenting a window into your life that helps others. And some of us have a lot going on, and some of us only show the window into our kitchen or the window into our craft room. And some of us just open every window up, and let you guys in. So, Dirt Patch, you need to go back and watch the very beginning because I kind of talk about getting ready for you coming. So, I got to go get stuff. All right. Anyways, I'm closing down in prayer. I'm glad you made it. Anyone have videos on gardening in a small space? We don't have oodles of yard, but need to get a good veggie garden growing. Go check out Dirt Patch, some of her very beginnings, and she has the raised beds and she incorporates the animals in it. It's amazing. It always motivates me, but I've got something better than motivation to garden. I have Julie coming to garden for me. Oh. All right. So, no way in God's green earth can I consider a tiny home with my kids. They fight too much and need space. Let me tell you, I got to do a video because when everything happened, we were living in 500 square feet, and this novelty idea of tiny living, I really think it's a fad, because when we were doing it, now granted, we weren't completely set up, and everything all fine. That's just bogus. The first few weeks was great. It was like, this could be so doable. And after a few weeks, I was like, oh, heck no. I'm done. This needs to be my craft space. I just am not going to do that much work to choose to live that small. It's more work. But anyways, that's a different show. So closing us out in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the time you bring us together. Oh my goodness, Lord, you always bring me renewed. I know you're bringing Tangi renewed. Letting us come together in fellowships, just us mamas in the trenches of peanut butter and jelly, dear Lord, trying to make this vessel the vessel that you would be proud of, dear Lord, a vessel that will do the work that's ready to do that you have presented in front of us, dear Lord. Lord, remind us this is just a vessel. Who we are has nothing to do with the vessel we wear. Lord, our vessels come with cracks and with colors and with different formations. I don't even dare call them deformations, Lord. They were made in your hand. You are the potter that spun this vessel, dear Lord, and there is no imperfections. These are perfections that you give us to set us apart from so many others, Lord. Let us see the joy that your hand has made. Lord, let us do well to take care of them. Let us see the image that our families see. Let us see the images that you have made for us, that we are, Lord, and celebrate them no matter what size our vessel is, no matter what stage we are at taking care of the vessel we wear, our bodies. Lord, this is so important. You've made us to be so many different things, as mothers, as wives, as children, as sisters, and, we are called to be so many, and our identity is so much more than this vessel, Lord. Lord, you have others that are going out and following your word and being fruitful in their journey, in their family, Lord. Be with them as they go through the struggles, Lord. I know those struggles. And as you're trying to find the balance of health, trying to find the balance of taking care of yourself, trying to find the balance of taking care of others, dear Lord, as you're growing a tiny little human inside, it can be so overwhelming and daunting, Lord. Let those mamas that are in that path have the grace to just realize some days sitting on the couch growing a baby is enough, Lord, be with those that are putting their vessel in order for the journey of children. Dear Lord, be with them as they make the transition to have their vessel ready and be able to be at tip-top condition to do it. Lord, be with us as we go through this. Lord, help us find those visual reminders that keep us on the goal, that keep us going and being persistent, dear Lord. Lord, help us go through. Lord, with those that struggle with the social media and being able to balance the task and the anonymousness, Lord, be with them as they make those decisions, that they are making it within your will and not ours or theirs on their own. Lord, thank you for the time you bring us. Thank you for just the ability to be strengthened within each other as we go out. In your son's precious holy name, amen.
Amen.
All right. I am going to see you later. And one of the things I'm going to do in the future, I'm going to actually start going and taking the videos into the different segments and having time spots. So if you want to find a specific part in the video, you don't have to go through the whole hour. You can just hit the parts. But, when I get to that. So we will see you next week. I'm not quite sure what we're talking about, but I'm sure it will be, full of giggles, tears, and piss in your pants.
Yeah. I think it's pop. Oh my God.
Well, if you nursed enough babies, hopefully it wasn't a boob out the bra. Things that pop, it's not not just your pants button. It's all kinds of things.
Oh my word.
Oh.
That is too
Oh
funny.
my goodness. Faith said her 4-year-old just yelled at me. I'm like, tell her get a line. They all yell at me.
Amazing. And don't forget to check back for Wellness Wednesday over on my channel. And I'll remember my depends.
Oh, all right. We're going to see you guys later. I hope to see you in Facebook and see those pictures. Remember, we're doing full-length pictures in Facebook, and we are doing our vision boards as we make them, and hopefully we'll be inspired by each other with what we make. And I'm going to put my last year's and then what I create for this year too. And I will have the PDFs so you can print out the stickers for your Happy Planner Fitness Journal in there too. I'm going to probably make a folder in the file section, and that's where I'm going to put them.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Yes,
See y'all next week.